Welcome to the Rose Engine Shop. Today we're going to talk about doing a pen on a Rose engine by adding a dome chuck to a straight line chuck. And let me show you how I used to do it years ago. I took this old antique lathe, a little jeweler's lathe, and all I did was add a stud in the back, and it's on its true center, and it would slide up and down this slot so it was adjustable, and I could lock it in any place I wanted to right here. And I would put this in my Rose engine with my straight line chuck, and then I would use it and put my mark on here, then come up, turn it, use this as a detent, so many degrees, and you can do our practice doing pen blanks on here. This is just a practice piece. So I was thinking about this the other day, and I thought, well, why don't I try using a dome chuck instead of using this old metal lathe? And let's take a look and see what I come up with. What I've done is attach this Linda White dome chuck to our straight line chuck, and I noticed while I was sitting here running it up and down that if I were to use the standard detent here with the cover plate on it and look over here on the side, it was a little hard because I was always turning my head. So I took the cover plate off the back so I could see the gear. I was able to mark every other tooth on the gear with a count. I got 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and then 72. So I've got every other tooth marked. It's easy for me to come up with patterns just using this. I added a hand knob, and this way I can turn it, and it's easy. I can go from one tooth to the next really quickly as my hands and my eyes are right here at eye level to begin with. So you'll notice one other thing that I learned, that when you take this back plate off, the only thing that's holding this assembly together is a small screw in here, and I didn't like that idea. So I took a piece of Teflon or a piece of nylon and put a small strap clamp over here, and it doesn't hurt turning it one way or the other. It's just that this assembly is being held down here and being held down here, so everything's nice and rigid. So let's step back for a second and let's just show you how the pattern's working out. As you see, we're pulling a very small chip. You can see it's rocking. You come up, turn the detent, 2 teeth, go again. Now I gave myself just a little bit of room at the top and the bottom of each of the projects because I'm going to trim this tube when I'm done. Now right now I'm just finding the pattern using every other tooth. I had a pattern earlier using every tooth and then using the detent in the back to phase it, and it really looked nice. You can see it's a nice curled chip, and some people use this with a guide and some people use it without. Just note that if you use it without, you have to have a good touch. This is not a bull in a china shop type effort. This is very, very light touch. If you push too hard, you could skate across the top and miss your pattern altogether. So another thing you also have to realize when you're doing this particular project, that you never want to touch anything up here. Once you're set, you're not touching your cross slide or your fixture. It stays put. The only thing I'm doing is turning the detent. David Lindo has said that he has a prototype of this similar type setup with a worm. So perhaps in the future, that's something we'll see. So thanks for coming to the Rose Engine Shop, and we'll see you again.